Hello everyone, it's Princess Aurora here. I hope you're all enjoying the Halloween festival. I'm having so much fun. Now I heard that you all love telling stories, and so do I. So I'm going to tell you my favorite story, which is my very own. It's called Sleeping Beauty. Once upon a time, there was a king and a queen, and they had a beautiful baby girl called Aurora. They were so excited that they decided to have a big party for their new baby girl, and they invited everyone from the whole kingdom to attend. Everyone was very excited and had a great time at the party. There was young Prince Philip, who was supposed to be Aurora's future husband, and there were even some fairies called Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. They gave the little princess beautiful magical gifts, but there was one person that wasn't invited to the party, and her name was Maleficent. She was a very powerful fairy indeed, and she was so angry that she hadn't been invited to the party. She showed up anyway, and instead of giving the little princess a gift, she gave her a curse. She put a curse on the little princess, which was me, and the curse said that when I reached 16 years old, I would prick my finger on a spinning wheel and die. And Maleficent did a big evil laugh and vanished into thin air. Everyone at the party was really, really scared, but Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather, who were the good fairies, had an idea. They changed the curse so that when I pricked my finger on the spinning wheel, I wouldn't die, but I would fall fast asleep until true love's kiss woke me up. So to keep me safe, my mother and father sent me off into the woods with the fairies to live there with them until I was 16 years old. The fairies and my mom and dad didn't want me to know that I was the princess, just to keep me safe. So they used no magic while I was growing up, and they didn't tell me my name was Aurora. Instead, they called me Briar Rose. Now, I loved growing up with the fairies. They were so good to me. And on my 16th birthday, I went out into the woods to pick some flowers and some berries, and I started singing and having a great time with all of the animals. But then I met a very handsome man. Now, I didn't know his name, but I felt like I knew him from somewhere before. Maybe in one of my dreams I'd met him. And we danced together and sang together, and I fell in love with him. So I rushed back to tell the fairies, but they weren't very happy because they said that, well, I was already betrothed to a prince, and I was actually the princess, and we had to go back to the castle that day. And I didn't know any of that, so I was so upset. I went up to my room and I started to cry. But the fairies had been very silly whilst I was away. They had been making me a big birthday cake and a beautiful dress to wear, and they couldn't decide which color they wanted to make it. One of them wanted to make it blue, and she kept saying, make it blue. And the other one wanted to make it pink, and she kept saying, make it pink. And they couldn't decide at all. They'd started to use their magic because they weren't very good at making dresses and cakes without any magic. But this wasn't a very good idea because all of the sparks from their magic wands started flying out of the chimney, and Maleficent's pet bird saw it and went off to tell Maleficent where I was hiding. So the fairies took me back to the castle, and I went inside, but all of a sudden I started to feel very strange, and I saw this strange green light, and I started to walk up the stairs, and there I saw a spinning wheel, and before I knew it, I pricked my finger on the spinning wheel and I fell fast asleep. And Maleficent appeared. She was very happy that she found me and her evil curse had worked, and she did her big evil laugh again. Have you got a big evil laugh? Can you do it for me now? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, that's a very good evil laugh. But the fairies and my mother and father were very, very sad. So they put me onto a big, beautiful bed where I'd be nice and comfortable. And then my fairies had another good idea. They used their magic to put the entire kingdom to sleep. So everybody, whilst they were going to their work or doing their chores, started to fall asleep. and they wouldn't wake up until I was awoken by true love's kiss. Now, the man I met in the woods was actually Prince Philip, and that's who I was supposed to marry all along. So he went off to fight Maleficent, but Maleficent locked him up in the dungeon so he could never come back and kiss me and wake me up. But my fairies came to the rescue again. Using their magic, they gave him a shield and a sword to help him fight Maleficent, and he went out and started trying to fight her. But Maleficent's magic is very powerful. She made big, huge, jaggy vines grow in front of him, and he had to try and cut them down to get to her. And then, once he did that, Maleficent transformed into a huge black dragon, and she could breathe fire. So Prince Philip was trying not to get himself burned and trying to defeat Maleficent. And eventually, because he was so brave, he managed to defeat her, and we never saw her again. And Prince Philip came back to the castle, came right up to my bedchamber, and gave me true love's kiss. And I woke up from my sleep, and everyone in the whole kingdom woke up too, and they were so happy that I was back with my mother and father, and me and Prince Philip can get married and live happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed that story. Thank you so much for spending some time with me, and enjoy the rest of the Halloween festival. Bye!
Hello there, beasties. Well, I thought since we've got the boring bit over with, we could maybe move on to some spooktacular crafts. So listen all, and listen well, and watch very carefully as I show you how to make your very own dragon. So, these are the dragons we are going to make. The things you are going to need, boys and girls, are glue, your recycled toilet roll holders, some tissue paper, some ripped up tissue paper in your fire colors, some pom-poms so you can make his little nose and eyes, and do not forget the googly eyes. So the first thing you need to do is get your toilet roll holder and pick which color you want to make your dragon. And I think I will go for purple. So what you're going to do is get some glue and put it in a nice long line down the toilet roll. Pop it on and roll over, putting more glue at the other side, just like this. And make sure it sticks very well. And then tuck in at this side, and then tuck in at this side here. And it should have turned the whole tube one color. Now, if you don't have tissue paper, you can use paint or pens, but I know you beasties are messy enough and your parents would much prefer a tidier way to do things. So once that is done, pop some glue near the front, down the bottom, just like this, and pick 2 smaller pom-poms to use as your dragon's nose, and stick them just here. And then do the same again, further back, and pick 2 bigger pom-poms. And I think I'm going to go for yellow. And we'll have one here and one here. So stick them down nice and tight. And then you're going to need your googly eyes. Now you can get googly eyes that are sticky on the back, but if they're not, just a little bit of glue and pop them straight on the front, like this. And I will do the other side as well. A little bit of glue and pop it straight on the other eye. See? Now the next thing you're going to have to do is make the flames for your dragon. Now, the easiest way to do this is put lots of glue on the inside of your dragon's mouth. So make sure it goes all the way around. And if you have a little glue spreader, you can make sure that's spread all the way inside. And if any of the tissue comes out, don't worry, you can just poke it straight back in. And then take your flames and pop them inside your dragon's mouth. You can do all the different colors. There's no way that it has to look, and go all the way around. Okay, so once you have all your fire inside, you can see your dragon looks very fierce. And if you want to make his flames look real, all you need to do is blow inside. Are you ready? Just like that. Now, boys and girls, I want you to give me your biggest dragon roar. Oh, well, that was rubbish, wasn't it? Do it again, but actually do it loud, like a real dragon. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I suppose that's as good as I'll get. Well, happy Halloween, boys and girls, and have a look, and I want you to take pictures of your crafts and let us see what you have done. Goodbye.